What's up, Iron members? So today marks the start of a series all about programming for beginners. So we're going to cover key concepts, measuring progress and setting goals, actually building your program, and then measuring the progress you made and making the proper adjustments for future progress. Now these videos are going to be spread out a little bit, so I'm not going to do all 4 videos in a row every week, but they're going to be kind of spread out, possibly every other week. So today we're discussing key terms and concepts. Some of these concepts and terms will be no-brainers to some of you, and some of them it'll be a little bit of a refresher or something new. So I briefly want to touch on reps, sets, and rests, just so no one gets confused. So reps, of course, is the actual action that you're performing of the exercise. So if you're squatting, 1 rep is going down, then coming back up. If you're doing a bicep curl, it's curling in, then out. So it involves the concentric, which I won't get into, and the eccentric portion of the rep. So it's just 1 action completed. And so when we talk about a set, it is a collection of those reps. So if I say 10 reps of bicep curls, you're going to do 10 reps in a row, and then you're going to rest, which leads me into rest. And rest, of course, is just the time period between sets. Now this kind of gets a little tricky when we're talking about supersets and circuits, but I kind of explain that when I talk about those in detail, so I won't touch on that too much in this video. 2 other key terms that might be a little bit new to some of y'all is compound exercises and isolation. So compound exercise is going to be a multi-muscle or multi-joint exercise. So a bench press, for example, uses your shoulders, your triceps, and of course your chest. A squat uses your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings. In contrast, an isolation exercise only uses 1 muscle group, or it mostly only uses 1 muscle group. You can never truly isolate a muscle group, but you can do your best. For example, a bicep curl works at the elbow joint, and it's only flexing the arm and flexing that bicep. Ideally, you're keeping the tension strictly on the bicep, and you're not going to get any other muscle groups involved, so that's why it's called an isolation exercise. Now, isolation exercises are very important when it comes to programming for hypertrophy or trying to improve your physique, because that really allows you to manipulate exactly what muscle group is growing and giving it more attention. Because if you're just doing squats or you're just doing deadlifts, you can't really key into specific development of your hamstrings or your glutes, so that's where isolation exercises come in. Now, one major concept that plays into all of this is the progressive overload principle. Now, I made a video about this already, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch that, but it's basically just stating that we are making progress over time, whether it be increased reps, increased weight, increased progress, progressive overload. Now the last 2 concepts I want to talk about is mind-muscle connection and full range of motion. Now both these concepts play a role in lifting in general, but especially when it comes to improving your physique, both of these concepts can really play a major role in getting proper development and trying to maximize your growth in the shortest period of time. So mind-muscle connection is exactly like it sounds. You're really trying to put your mind into the muscle and feel that contraction and also feel that stretch. So we can all feel our bicep flex when we kind of hit that little arm flex, right? But not all of us can really feel our hamstrings flex. So again, a lot of this takes a lot of time to really get familiar with feeling that muscle contract and stretch. So this is just something to think about and keep in mind when you're going through a movement, not just going through the motions with your bench press, but actually feeling your chest contract and stretch during the exercise. And then full range of motion, again, is exactly like it sounds. So going through a full range of motion, because if you aren't fully stretching that muscle and you aren't fully contracting that muscle, you're just limiting your development. You simply just won't be able to produce as much strength or stress on the muscle if you don't use full range of motion, so you're just cutting yourself short. Alright guys, I think that wraps up this video. A lot of these terms you might have already known, but hopefully you learned something new. And again, I think understanding these completely makes a big difference as we move forward in this series. So I hope you guys are crushing your workouts this week, and I'll catch y'all next week.